And my guest today is ang traveling multiland naglaguna, Rob Blackburn. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. You know, just hello, Albie. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I actually wonder. I'm actually just thinking, where did like the name for the podcast, the Stallion Talk, come from? Is it like Italian stallion? Do you have like Italian like ancestry of your PvP background? Like,
I do actually, but like that's not the reason. It's because are you familiar with the game Dota?
oh no. Oh yeah, actually yes. My uncle, he's around your age, right?
Yeah,
He plays that, and he's like so addicted. Like
yeah.
these Valve games,
It's
CS:GO, crazy, bro.
yes. It's my favorite. It used to be my favorite game growing up, and like I would only use characters with horses on, like riding a horse.
Huh?
So when I made my Instagram a long, long time ago, um, uh, this is a long backstory, bro. But let me just do it real quick. So like, I was involved in a little issue where I was like public enemy number one in the Philippines, bro. Like this was before social media was a thing. So that's like how long ago it was.
No
There
way,
was no
bro.
Instagram yet, no TikTok. I think Twitter was just starting out. So I made an Instagram when Instagram started, and I would just get so much hate, bro. Like it was all just hate comments, hate comments, hate comments. So I told my friends, I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna stop this Instagram stuff. Then they were like, no, dude, make it private and change your name so people don't know it's you. I was like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. So I was thinking, what could I use? What name could I use where my friends would still know it was me, but the haters wouldn't? And my name back then in Dota was the Stallion, bro. So I just
Oh,
used
the
that.
style.
Yeah,
Oh,
so like all of my
no
friends would
way,
know,
bro.
oh, yeah,
You
oh,
play?
sige, that's Albi, that's Albi.
No
So
way.
it, yeah, dude. So it just picked up after that. I just ran with it, bro. So Stallion Talk became a thing, and actually, bro, I tried to change my name because like my manager was begging me. They were like, "Bro, please, Albie, just change it because people can't find you on Instagram." It's like, okay, I'll try. But then like I was already verified on Instagram at the time, and then like it's a whole process to change the name. You know what I mean? I guess it's to combat like hacking. If you get your profile hacked, they can't change the name, they can't change the account. So after that, I just gave up and I just ran with it, bro. So that's
Stallion.
where the Stallion came from, bro. And then
Yeah.
Stallion Talk, it's just like a play on the words. You know what I mean? We're doing a little podcast. We talk. So yeah,
It just came from Dota. So it has.
yeah, bro.
So like, if I asked you if you had like any Italian ancestry, it was like, yeah, you do have Italian
I
ancestry.
do.
But
Yeah,
it's okay. So like, your great grandfather is like Italian,
my
or
grandma.
your grandma? No way,
Yeah,
no way. That's
yeah.
actually pretty cool. So I guess you have like I guess like you have a lot of European, and you, of course, because you're Filipino, you're
I
this
think,
bit of
but
advantage.
like I don't really count it, bro. Like you know what I mean? To be honest, for me, like I just say I'm Filipino. My passports, where are they? My passports say Filipino. So, my parents' passports say Filipino. So I'm not one of those like, oh yeah, I'm Spanish, Italian. No, dude, I'm Filipino. You know what I mean? Like there are people like that, bro. Like you're born and raised in the Philippines. Your parents
No
are born
way.
and raised in the Philippines. And like
Yeah.
in your IG, it says Spanish. No, you're
Yeah,
not,
bro,
bro.
I get,
Right?
bro.
You know
I've seen,
what I mean?
bro. I've seen these. There's one person who's a friend of mine. Like, she just on her IG, it says she's half Spanish, half Filipino. I was like, you don't have any Spanish in you.
Do
Like,
you speak Spanish? Who's
no,
the president of Spain? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't answer
exactly.
these
No,
questions,
they can't answer these questions, and plus, like, instead of just saying they're Filipino, they say like they're Latino, which, like, I guess in a way it does make some sense, sort of, because we were colonized by the Spanish, but we're not identified as Latinos, like,
yeah, dude, we're
in
not.
any way,
We're
shape, or
really
form.
not Latin, bro. Like, if you think about it, bro, like you said, we were colonized by Spain, yeah? We're the only country that Spain colonized that doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
We have
that's
our
true.
own language, bro. So, like, we really detached from it. So, feeling ko talaga, we have we shouldn't be calling ourselves anything else but Filipino. I think it's just people want to be different. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? They
exactly,
need,
exactly.
yeah. They're just
Yeah,
looking for something na maiba.
yeah, that's the same thing. Not only in the Philippines, but in like America. You see, like,
Yun.
if you know, most Americans are purely like they're basically European. Like, their ancestors, they came from Europe.
Yeah,
Or
from
basically,
Europe, yeah. Because the real Americans are the Native Americans, the Indians.
exactly, Exactly. So if you ask a regular American, "Are you American?" No,
No, I'm Irish. I'm German. No, you're not, bro. You're American. Shut up.
exactly,
It's like, like
exactly,
it's always
exactly. It's like
like
I'm
that,
Jewish,
dude.
I'm English, I'm Scottish. I have a little bit of French in me. Yeah, yeah.
Jewish, I can understand Jewish because like that's a religion. You know what I mean? Like you can be a Jew from America. That's fine. You can say Jewish. You're Jewish. That's your religion. Cool. But like for someone who's born and raised in America, like doesn't speak German, don't say you're German, bro, because you're not. Like I have the same sentiment towards like Filipinos. You know, because like a lot of Filipinos live in the U.S., right? And like they'll say, they'll come here and they'll say, "Na, oh, I'm Filipino." Like your parents are Filipino. Your passport says American. Like name the last five presidents of the Philippines. Like no, dude. Like you're basically American by now. You know what I mean? You have Filipino blood. Your parents are Filipinos, but you're not really Filipino anymore, dude. Like you can't name the last two vice presidents we've had. Like,
That's true. That's true. It's like
but like you're right, man. In the U.S., that's a big thing now. They all want to be ethnic. They all want to be like different. You know what I mean?
And yeah, I guess like with that trend, I was sort of just one of the lucky few that ended up that my soul ended up landing on the right person. I
No,
guess.
because like for you, you are literally half, right?
Yeah.
You can tell by your last name, Blackburn. So actually, let's get to it right now. Let's talk about your early life. So, did you actually grow up here, or where did you grow up in?
Like nakatira ako sa iba pang mga countries. So parang pinanganak ako sa UK at saka pumasok sa Belgium. I went to Belgium. Pagkatapos Belgium, went back to UK, America, then Dubai, and then Qatar. Ngayon, dito,
Big world traveler, man. How old are you again?
20 now. Actually, naging 20 isang isang buwan, like just 1 month.
Last month.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
happy birthday, brother. Belated happy
Thank
birthday, sir.
you, thank you. Yeah.
So, what was that like growing up traveling a lot? I'm sure nahirapan ka to make like, you know what I mean, friends because like you said you're 20 now. So
Mhm.
when you were moving around, yan yung time na you would make your friends, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
talk to us about that.
Well, I guess there's a lot to learn about like expectations versus reality as well. Um, when I was moving, like, of course, when I'm moving from England to Belgium, it was just kind of hard because I didn't really speak the language in Belgium, and
Mm-mm.
like main language in Belgium is Dutch and English. So I mean, it's really hard when you don't know the language because
Yeah.
um, in Europe the signs are all Dutch and French, the prices are all descriptions all Dutch and French. If you look at a nutrition
Label.
right? Well,
Yeah.
what is calorie in French? Okay, it's gonna be similar like calorie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and yeah, but I think it's actually really cool to experience different cultures just to see how people view things. I mean, once you really look at different cultures, you kind of get to realize that there is no right or wrong answer when you think about certain things. Like say for example, people don't really like the way certain. Actually, I'm probably not going to bring up his name because it's a bit too controversial of a name, but
I think I know what you're gonna talk. Say
yeah,
it. Say it.
like I think Andrew Tate. I mean, I don't agree with everything
Oh
Andrew
no,
Tate,
say it. Okay.
and I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate says, of course. But um, I just kind of realized that when I travel, there's no wrong or right answer. There's definitive wrong answers, but there's no definitive right answer when it comes to morals and ethics because in different cultures, religion is a huge part of that, and religion, of course, reflects on how people see ethics.
Mm-mm.
So, just kind of knowing that there is no wrong or right way of thinking when it comes to language, culture. There's just different themes, and that's kind of what I look at it as. Just there's I mean yeah, in life there's no wrong or right answer. It's just there is there is and there's not. So yeah, that's what I kind of realized, and yeah, but in terms of fitting in, I guess I always kind of found it a challenge. I kind of found it a challenge when I wasn't when I didn't really fit in well with the kids in Belgium. So like as a young kid, I would actually get into a lot of fights, and of course I would lose a lot because naturally I was the youngest, and kids were just so much bigger and stronger. And so, admittedly, yeah, like I lost a lot of them. And then when went back to the UK, I didn't really get into many of them. Kind of got along with everyone, understood their culture, no communication barriers. And plus, actually, because in Europe there's so many languages and so many cultures, people are kind of biased against you, like, oh, this kid's English, I don't like him, or this kid, or a German kid sees a French person, or an Italian sees like a German, and probably like in the school they're probably not going to like each other. Sometimes, I mean, of course, the world is more friendly than that, but maybe that was
Mm-hmm.
the case when I was in what was called the European school at the time. Uh, so yeah, and then when I went to England, it was kind of more chill and stuff. And then after, and actually, who I hung out with the most in England? I actually hung out with the Filipino community.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing about Filipinos, bro. No matter where you go, no matter what country you go to, there's always gonna be Filipinos, and they always tend to stick together. You know what I mean? I think naman it's basically like that with all races. You
I think
know, like
yeah, because right now in human history, we're the most international, the most mixed, as we are
no,
right now.
totoo, yeah, that's true. Because like if you have to think about it, bro, like in the back in the days, in the early times, like I mean cavemen times, right? Like it's tribe mentality talaga eh. You don't know any other humans exist. And then you'll see another, let's see you're walking and then you see another tribe, they don't speak the same language as you. Like you're like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's automatically you're on the offensive. So we're we're really designed to stick to our people. But like you said, now we're at a time now where diversity is such a big thing. You know what I mean? No one's really 100% anything anymore. You know, like you said, me, I have like European blood, but I still consider myself Filipino. But if I took like the heritage test, it won't say I'm on. Like, I don't even look like a Filipino, bro, to be honest. You know what I mean? Whenever I go abroad and people ask me, where are you from? I say I'm Filipino. That's the number one thing I always get. Oh, you don't look Filipino. You don't talk Filipino. Well, I am. So,
I mean,
you
you do
know,
talk Filipino, like I guess when you go to the U.S., you're like, oh, I thought you were Mexican, bro. I didn't
yeah,
know
bro, all
you
the
were
time. They always think I'm Mexican. And like when someone's talking to me and in the U, because like in the US, it's very different. Like here in the Philippines, like, paano ko sasabihin to? We're the like, there's no more hospitable people than the Filipinos. Well, I
Yeah,
like to think we're the most hospitable people on the planet. But in countries like the US and abroad, like it's not strange for strangers to talk to each other randomly. Like if you're waiting on the bus, if you're shopping, people will make conversation. Here, people don't really talk to each other much. Eh. You know what I mean? I think it's because everyone's so busy, everyone has stuff to do. We're all like commuting takes so tagal. So like if someone was like making like just talking to me so much, I would just go no comprende inglés. No comprende inglés o molesta español. And then sometimes they would talk to me in Spanish, and I'd be like, oh, Joe, I'm just kidding, bro. Like, I can speak English. I just don't want to talk right now. You know what I mean? I would just pretend I didn't speak English. No, no English. No, so molesta español. I would just say stuff like that because everyone's just trying to talk to you in other places, right?
yeah. I guess it kind of works as like a double edged sword. Like that's when people are trying to talk to you in places. I mean, you look like you're the type of guy to play basketball, right?
Yeah, I play ball.
That's why, like, I mean, in some certain situations, it makes it easier to make friends. Like, people are so willing to talk to you. The other times, maybe you got a lot to do. Maybe you're just
Yeah.
tired and you just want to get your life on. It's like, bro, I'm not in the mood to talk. Yeah, like, I understand both perspectives because, of course, like, I've been there both times. Like,
And like me, bro, as a because like when I travel, I'm a tourist. It's not like I'm not like you where I lived in multiple places. I've only lived in the Philippines, but I would travel, and when I travel, I'm always on high alert. You know, because I mean, there's good and bad people everywhere you go, right? But you can't if people know you're a tourist, you become a target, especially in Europe. I'm sure you know this, right? Like in places like France, in the UK, they'll target tourists to pickpocket, to do stuff like that. And I know like the tricks. Like someone will be talking to you while someone like picks your wallet at the back, right? So when I'm abroad, I don't really like to talk to people at random places because I always have my guard up. because I'm not from there, so I don't know what's going on. I don't keep my AirPods in. I don't listen to music when I'm out, when I'm traveling, because I always have to be on high alert, because like I said, I don't know like what happens if someone steals my wallet. I'm not gonna go to the police station. I'm not gonna waste days in my trip to file a police report. You know what I mean? So it's just like that, where I'm not really trying to talk, because I don't want to be distracted by what's going on
Yeah.
around me.
I guess that's a pretty interesting way to look at it. Um, I guess because when I'm a child, I don't really see that perspective of why, like, I guess other like people would just snub me when I went to different countries, and when I went to the UK, like, I guess when I spoke in their accent, it was like, okay, he's British,
They
so
know you're from there. Yeah, yeah, they know.
they know I'm from there. They're not going to be like, because I guess it's not as huge as a thing as it was like throughout history, but the French and the British had a long rivalry, many, many, many wars. And so when, a French person comes to England, they're like, oh, that French bloke is weird. Or, sometimes when I go to France, it's like, you don't speak English, and they just don't really like. I guess it's kind of like that, and um, I guess yeah, it's just a matter of who you're with really, and who's looking forward to you. I mean, that's the thing with communication. You got to know other people's language, especially, and I think it's mostly dangerous in places that are in countryside, especially like if you're in Italy, you go to a countryside that is that main ethnic group is of course European white people. Then probably if they see that you're a tourist, it's like they can take the most advantage of you, right?
Of course. But like it's just, you know what I mean, being careful at all times, especially as a traveler. You know what I mean? It's really, it really be like that sometimes. So let's move on. What were the things you would do to keep busy, like when you would move from city to city? Like, what were the things that you would be doing for fun?
What I would be doing for fun, basically, I had a very fortunate childhood actually, because my activities really varied from where I went from place to place. Like when I was in England, sports wasn't a huge factor, so I mainly stayed inside playing games. And then sometimes when we'd have Filipino parties, the fun thing was everyone would come into my room and we'd all play games, get some snacks, play first person shooter, play Call of Duty,
Call of
and
Duty.
yeah. And then sometimes people will be like, "Hey, you can if you're 9 years old, you can play Call of Duty. Why only 9 years old? Because 9 times 2 equals 18."
Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
Yeah, just like an excuse. And then when I went to America, sports is more of an emphasis, and
yeah.
plus, then America is just so fast. Like some places are extremely dangerous, some places are extremely safe. So the place I went to was actually quite safe. Like the neighborhood I lived in, it was like this isolated. It wasn't like this. It wasn't a compound, but it was like an isolated neighborhood, no walls.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the US. Sorry for cutting you off. Like, it can change in a snap of a finger. Like, you can be in a safe area. You walk 5 minutes to the right, it's a dangerous area.
Yeah, bro. Here's a really good example. Did you know that in Los Angeles, it is a 30-minute drive from Disneyland to Compton? So like Disneyland, safe, happy place.
Anaheim,
It's
yeah,
all
Anaheim,
love. And
California,
then
yeah.
Compton,
The
gangs.
word, yeah, gang related, gang wars.
Yeah.
LA in general is like gang central,
You think?
and yeah,
Like,
they started in LA, bro.
oh,
Gang
really?
started in LA. We actually used to live in LA for a little bit. I'll just tell you a quick story, because my dad, he actually looks like African American, especially when he was younger, dude. He has dark skin, had a shaved head like me. He's pretty built, right? So I was young. I was like 2 years old at the time, and my dad was like I said, like where we were at, it was safe. But like I guess my dad was just walking around strolling, and he took like a right in the wrong side of town. And as soon as he takes that right, a car pulls up beside him. Two dudes come out, and they're like, "Where are you from?" And my dad's like, "Oh, I'm from the Philippines." And the guy said, "I didn't ask you where you were born." I'm like, "Where are you from?" They mean like what set he's banging. Do you know what I mean? And like my dad didn't understand what they meant, like because like they don't know him, so they're thinking he's a rival gang member, right? And then I think my dad said like someone like was about to pop out, and I was in a stroller, bro. He was literally he was with his child, and they were about to jump him, bro. So like after that situation, my dad was like, "Nope, we're getting out of here. We're moving back to the Philippines. No, no more of this. Like
Yeah, it's just
it's yeah,
yeah, like in the U.S., it is so. I think it's so extreme there, where you can be really safe in one area, and then drive, take a 5 minute drive down in L.A. It's like, oh, it's like a dangerous zone. It's like it's so that country. I mean, Americans always tell you how insane Thailand is, how insane places that they've been to, like Iraq, but then they don't realize how really up and down and how really extreme America is, like in those situations. Because I guess the wealth gap is extreme, but
extreme, yeah,
the wealth gap, but the education, depending on what state you're in, depending on what neighborhood you're in, you can get an extremely good education there, or you can get an education that's just flat out just teachers don't care. And
you
I was kind of lucky to be in the area in the U.S. where um, it was relatively safe.
you want to
Um,
know a crazy stat, bro?
what's a crazy stat?
Okay, so check this out. Um, hold on. So I heard this once and I googled it just to make sure it was true because I didn't believe it. They said that there are more homicide deaths in Chicago than there were in the whole war of Iraq combined, bro. Like that's how many shootings there were in just one state, bro, of Chicago compared to like the whole
One state, one city.
in
That's
one city. Yeah. So like and there are more guns in America than there are people.
no way.
Yeah, that's a stat. There's more guns in America than there are people.
So they
So like
restrict alcohol at the age of 21, but they don't. They can give a gun to an 18-year-old.
18-year-old, you can go to war at 18, but you can't drink alcohol or smoke a cigarette till you're 21.
That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. And then they kind of just argue that, oh yeah, I want to fight for my liberty. Like when it comes, okay, I don't want to talk about it too much. It's a very controversial topic, but like, when Tupac said that, I want to buy a gun to protect myself because I don't know who else has a gun. Well, it's like, okay, he
That's
has a gun, I have a gun, he has a gun, I have a gun. But why not just remove all of that and just no one has guns.
but the
Everyone
problem is, bro. Here's the problem with that way of thinking, right? Criminals don't care about the rules, bro.
That's true.
So if you impose, this is my again my opinion, dude, and we're not even in America, so whatever. But um, if you impose gun laws like that, you stop people from owning guns. Um, law-abiding citizens will not have guns, but criminals will still have guns.
Oh, okay, that's a good perspective.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the guys who, like I said, there's more guns than people in America, but like not everyone who has a gun is bad, right? Like at the end of the day, a gun doesn't kill a person does. And like most of the people who own the guns are not out killing people, bro. It's a few bad people who have guns.
That's true.
So I believe like if it's really up to your right because to do whatever you want, man. If you want to keep a gun to protect your family and yourself, sure.
Yeah,
Because there's still gonna be bad people who will do bad things regardless.
that's true. That's true. Just look at the knife crime in the UK.
That's crazy, bro. I heard there's a knife killing every day in the UK, man. Like someone gets stabbed every day.
Yeah, and then in knife like in the UK, like I've heard like my mom, no, my sister or my mom went to the West Drayton. Like that's the neighborhood I grew up in, West Drayton, west of London, just outside London. There have been like one of my closest family friends say that there has just been like one of their friends from their school have just been stabbed like 2 days ago, and they're scared to walk in like inside the train station that I used to go in all the time to get into them, which is insane. Like I think it's I don't know. It's just it's a cultural shock. Like people do bad things, and maybe it's just like a it's a bit of culture, like a mentality thing that people have. That's sort of dangerous. What are your opinions on that?
I think it's different. It's difficult for stuff like that because I this is my look on things. I think people are inherently good. Nobody is born to be a bad person, right? But through circumstances in life, sometimes they're molded, right? You only know your surroundings. So if you're born into an area that's all you see, that's all you're around, you can't blame someone for being that way.
Yeah,
Like we really need to look at it as more of it's not really about gun control, it's not really about gun law, it's about how can we help the people who are doing these things.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's actually right because actually you do have good ways. You do have good perspectives on that because like people don't see themselves as a bad person. They always have They always have justifiable perspectives.
Exactly.
Um,
There's always a reason for why they're doing these things, man. Um like nobody wants to rob a place. But if your kids are hungry and there's nothing else you can do, like if I was in the position, I'd rather rob a place than let my kids starve, man. At the end of the day, humans always look out for themselves first before they. That's why it's really sad when you see people with a lot who don't help because after a certain point when you're so financially secured, there's nothing else you can do with the money, bro. Like there's only so many things you can buy. There's only so many like stuff you can spend your money on. Eventually, the mentality of like let me amass as much wealth as possible. What's that gonna do, bro? When you die, you can't take it. Why not help? Why not help the people with the things that you have so that these things won't happen anymore? Why not give back to the community? But then again, like everybody has their own way of seeing things.
that's true, and I think when it comes to perspectives, um, I think when it comes to like the whole like Democrat versus liberal argument, like in my opinion, it's like no one's right or wrong. In my opinion, they both are right and they're both wrong because they both have they both have justifiable perspectives, if you know what I mean. And it it's very complicated. Yeah, that
Do you
topic.
know the movie The Kingsman?
Yeah,
So remember the second one with Samuel L. Jackson when he was the antagonist.
yeah,
Like he was basically like Thanos, right? He wanted to eliminate humans from the earth because the humans are the disease of the earth, right? So if you look at him as a character, he wasn't a bad guy. Of course, what he wanted to do was bad, but the idea behind it wasn't so bad. Like it wasn't a radical idea like I just want to kill millions of people. No, it's because he thinks that we're destroying the world, and for the world to heal, we need to do this. Of course, in hindsight, he was a horrible person, right? But like I said, nobody thinks they're bad when they do these things. Nobody wants to be a bad person. It's just the world is so crazy now that there's we just have to be able to. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words really for what I'm trying to say, but my point is that nobody wants to really do harm to others, man.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. No one
And like,
wants.
go ahead, sorry.
Okay, you can go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like things like this, man. I don't like to think about it because I get so stressed, bro. Like, I feel like there's no hope. You know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna do? How can we change this for the better? So, like, it's really one of my. I never really understood this term until I got older. Like, the term ignorance is bliss. Like,
Yeah,
the less you know, the better, bro. Because talagang like now with inflation, all of this stuff, like how can I help myself? How can I do better, man? There's so many things that I need to to worry about. So actually, this is a good entry to our next topic, something I asked you about. That's why like I really love like working out and like exercising because when I'm in that space, when I'm in the gym, nothing else matters, bro. I'm not thinking about anything else. Like I'm focused on my set. It really is like serenity for me. You know what I mean? I
It's
feel. I'm sorry. What you cut out?
an escape, and you feel good afterwards.
You do. It really makes like good endorphins and stuff. So for you, when did you start working out? When did you? And you said you train as well, right?
Yeah, I think you also train in some boxing because you have a boxing
Yeah.
bag in your house.
Yeah. In my house. Yeah.
Uh, I started working out at the age of 15. Like I wasn't intent on bodybuilding. Like a lot of people, like a lot of them, like a lot of kids at the younger age, like they just want to get the muscles. For me, um, I was kind of like the Karate Kid. I just kind of wanted to take it up so I could learn how to defend myself. And then along the way, like just doing the most basic exercises, the push-ups and the crunches, um, and learning how to fight. It was just it gave me a lot of confidence, and also it provided me an escape. And along with that, it also was a really good outlet for my anger at the time. So it's just like I don't have to uh, let it out. So in a negative way. So 15, I think it's really good. So when did you
That's a
start?
good age.
How did
I started around like that time too, 15, 16. But I didn't really do weights, because before, like, we had a misconception that, oh, if you do weights hindi ka tatangkad, you won't grow tall. Like, that's all wrong, man. That's all lies. Like, there's no correlation between building muscle and growing tall. But like, when I was younger, my parents wouldn't let me go to the gym because they said it would stunt my growth, whatever, whatever. But like, it's good now that we have a lot of science and stuff. Do you follow sports? Are you a sports fan?
I'm a huge UFC fan.
Okay,
I like
so
both.
I don't know how long you've been watching the UFC, but like, I started when I was around your age, maybe younger, like 17. I was already watching, and like, you can see the difference between the fighters back then and the fighters now. It's like the knowledge we have about training now, the science, everything is so much better now. You know what I mean? Even with basketball, like the talent of the people back in the day, you can't compare it to the talent now, dude. Like, you watch a high school kid in the States, pwede na pang PBA yan dito eh. You know what I mean? Like, they're so good. It's crazy how much how quick we learn as humans. You know what I mean? If you think about it, bro, 30 years ago, if you told someone, hey, you know, that camera you're holding, your MP3, your calendar, your calculator, all of that will be put into your cell phone. And your cell phone can fit in your pocket no matter where you are, as long as you have internet. You can talk to anyone around the world. They'd look at you like you were crazy, bro. Yeah, right. Sure, bro. Like, itong cellphone ko na sobrang laki. Like, my calculator will be here, my calendar, my computer's in my phone. Yeah, right, bro. But like, it was
Endless
that,
communication, bro. Yeah.
right. It wasn't so long ago where that seemed alien to us. So like, at the same time, I'm kind of sure that humans will all will figure it out, because humans are so smart, man. Look at everything we've been able to accomplish.
And not only that, we're looking. Sorry. Let's just see. We're just constantly. The world's changing every second. Like new devices, and even if a new device hasn't come out, I'm pretty sure the engineers, the designers behind these crazy corporations that will impact our life will figure out ways to make them more efficient. Okay, maybe we need to change this in coding. Maybe we need to maybe the iPad needs to become lighter. Maybe it needs to become thinner because it's inefficient or whatever. Or maybe the download speed of the PS4 is not being enough. Maybe we need to make the PS4 slimmer, or we just need to, I don't know, replace this material with that material. So yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're definitely right on that one. Yeah, like we adapt so crazily when it not only when it comes to technology, but when it comes to, I guess, sports. Because here's something my teacher said. Um, Before Tony Hawk came along, when there was skating competition, um, Tony Hawk was there to, uh, before Tony Hawk, people, or maybe after, people didn't realize that people would be doing flips on skateboards. And then after they did that, it was like, flips? Oh, there's no way he's going to do a double flip. Oh, he did a double flip in tornadoes. So yeah,
Then he
it's
did the
just
900. Yeah.
the 900s. you follow skating as well?
Not really. I played the game growing up, Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Also, GTA San Andreas.
Of course, bro. Of course, man.
Bro, top.
Of course. They need a new GTA, bro. Because I was your
Bro,
age and I was playing GTA, bro. It's the same. We played the same game, man.
exactly, dude. They just man, Rockstar are just coming out with these remasters that we don't want anymore.
Right? Dude, they're just stealing our money, man. That's why I stopped supporting.
Exactly.
But
To be honest, I want a remake of San Andreas, not a remaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because did you play the remaster? It's horrible, bro. It's not very good, man.
I didn't play the remaster. Like, and
The new one. They bundled it like with the three, right? They did San Andreas, GTA Vice City, and I think GTA 3. And then you can buy it for, I think it was like 2,500 pesos, 2,500 pesos. Bro, lugi, man. Egul ka talaga. Lugi sa bayad. It wasn't worth it, man.
it's a ripoff, dude. The thing is, you could have bought all three games for twelve
For
dollars.
less. Yeah,
Like, just
exactly, bro.
even the remastered, and then they give you like, okay, they'll just say, okay, just change the explosions, just add this new graphics mode, ban every graphics, and yeah, just call it remaster, and then we'll give it to everyone. So, oh, charge people $60. Like, yeah, whatever.
Egul talaga.
Uh huh.
I have, okay, my next question is, uh, your PBB experience. Growing up, did you ever follow PBB? Did you know what PBB was? Were you a fan?
Yes, oftentimes PBB, ABS, CBN, TFC. My Lola was always watching it in the background. I'd come home from school, and then my Lola is sitting down on the television on the couch, just watching TFC, PBB. She was watching something with Gerald Anderson and Kim Chiu as well.
Tayong dalawa.
Tayong dalawa.
That
And
was
they
my first teleserye I watched too, with my boy Jake Cuenca.
Jay Cuenca. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it a love triangle between Kim Chiu, Gerald?
yeah, and
Yes,
Jake.
that was
Yeah,
the exact one.
yeah,
I remember that.
I'm
Oh my,
sure.
Jay
Yeah,
Cuenca. I remember that, and
that's my dog.
I was rooting for Gerald and Kim at the time. Like,
Of course, of course. Jake is a bad boy. Yeah,
yeah,
that was sick, man.
yeah. I was like, yes, Kim Chiu and Gerald. Come on. And I was like, why is it so hard? Why was it hard for Kim to choose between the two? I was like, come on, dude. Why is it hard? Why do you need to make it dramatic? Just choose Gerald. Come on, come on.
Because we're in the Philippines, man. Everything has to be dramatic, bro. It's
Exactly.
always dramatic here. It's
Yep.
like the telenovelas in Mexico, bro.
Telenovelas in Mexico, bro. Yeah, everything has to be dramatic because that's what hooks people on these days. Because yeah, I guess
So,
people. Hmm?
sorry. My next question was, what made you decide to join PBB this season? Did you ever think about it before?
Um,
Hi,
well,
girls or ladies, I see you. Sorry. My super fan is in here.
I was always like interested in show business. I've always wanted to do it. Like as a kid, I would always join school plays and stuff, and so I thought I would just enjoy my life and join it because it's gonna be good. Also, I was also fascinated with this idea of character and how like PVB brings out the worst and the best in people sometimes, or it brings out um, some point. So I was just kind of interested to psychoanalyze myself as well. Like I'll join PvP, and then I ended up having a lot of fun. So yeah, just wanted to
Did you
just
ever consider joining it before this season? Or was it like, why now? Why specifically now?
why now?
Yeah,
It was just like I've got a lot of time on my hands. Like I'm taking a gap year, um, and I didn't take a gap year because I didn't get accepted to any university. I applied for all five of my UK universities, got offers from all of them. I just wanted to take a break from it, and I thought I have a lot of free time right now, so why don't I just do this right now and see what happens? I mean, there's no harm in trying. I
true.
don't I don't hurt anyone by auditioning. I just audition. So that was my initial thought. I was like, oh, I'll have fun, join PBB. I did consider joining it after Idol Philippines, but just a while. But then I was actually quite busy with education as well. And they take you out of school, and
Yeah.
me and my parents especially did they wanted me to also do show. They supported me on show business and schooling and acting and singing, but they all said that you should focus on education first. Like that should be the top notch priority, and then afterwards we'll take you to auditions. We'll take you to commercials. That was always the case. Yeah.
Shout out to your dad, by the way. If you remember, I met him
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
got the yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike, what was that? Totally forgot the question. Okay. Um, dude, I forgot the question. But so when you got into PBB, okay, now I remember. Were you in the UK when you auditioned, or were you out here?
I was actually in here.
Oh, you were here in the Philippines already.
Yeah. Yeah. I was here.
Okay.
So yeah. It's really weird. Yeah. I was here in the Philippines, so I was quite familiar with
How
PB.
was the reaction of your family when they found out? Like your Lola, how was she? What was her reaction when she found out that when you told her that I'm gonna be a part of PBB? What was it like? Oh wow, Philippine Eagle, let's go,
Whoa!
baby!
Clear
All
Raymond.
right, I
Damn.
love it. Let's go. Anyway,
Philippines.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Grabe. Grabe.
Thank you, Queer Remark. That's
Well,
you are the man, boss.
I'm not gonna get
Really.
buzzed for telling you the process anymore, but when I auditioned,
No, bro, trust me. I've had so many PVB people on this show. All we talk about is this, the process. It's fine. There's no more.